There we go. So never thought I'd actually say this, but I miss TV. And I was never much of a couch potato to watch a whole bunch of TV or anything like that. But now that it essentially doesn't exist for me, I do kind of miss it. And specifically, I miss, there's a show called Burn Notice that was on USA Network. And it was shot on location in Miami, low budget. A lot of guerrilla style filmmaking was used. The crew and the cast did an excellent job to produce, an Emmy Award winning show on a very tight budget with some challenging conditions. Fast forward all these years, and today you and I have access to prosumer level gear to create a show on par with the production quality that you would find in like Burn Notice. I mean, sans blowing up a car and shit. Probably can't do that. But for everything else, between audio equipment we have access to, the cameras we have access to, we can do just about all of that show ourselves. And since I'm now in a demographic that the entertainment industry does not care to produce content for, I'm going to have to produce it myself. And so that's my goal. I'm going to learn to create a TV show in the style of Burn Notice, mostly shot on location in and around Houston. And one of the techniques that I saw in Burn Notice that I'm going to try to do today is what I'll call the mundane montage. So as Michael Weston's character, as the spy, they'd be in a car going from point A to point B. It's rather mundane travel. They might use it to provide exposition in the form of a voiceover, and then do split screen to try to make it a little more entertaining. Awesome technique. They pulled it off exceptionally well. Became a sort of a visual style for the show. And today I want to use some of the new Tilta suction cups to mount cameras inside the car, get some of the car scenes, use magnets on the outside of the car. The scene is I'm scouting a location for a clandestine rendezvous, talking through what I'm looking for in a location that, when you're going to meet somebody, and there will be a surprise as I find the spot I think that works the best for our character or our spy. And so today we're going to use gear that's readily available to all of us to pull off and to create these shots. And then in the edit, I'll put together the montage split scene style editing from Burn Notice, and we'll see how it turns out. So here's what we're going to be using. This is the new Tilta suction cup, and this one powers itself, and it'll maintain suction. Now, I've only got 2 of them. I honestly probably need 3. So I'll put a magic arm, mount the camera like that, and then use another one maybe over here attaching to the camera so that I have 2 points of stabilization. Ooh, can you see me? Autofocus! Autofocus! There we go. All right, so there's the shot, there's the setup. It's gonna come in here, we'll get it on the monitor, get it tweaked, and then we'll go do some shots. Now the other part of, sort of filming yourself driving, so I'm in a parking garage on a weekend that's controlled access. So there's very little chance of pedestrians, very little chance of other drivers. So it is a safety thing. We're driving first, we're filming fifth, right? So every precaution that you need for driving is the precautions you should take. If you get usable footage, great. If not, oh well, figure out a different way to get it if you're shooting by yourself like this and you can't close off a road. All right, so here we go, nuclear. That is not too bad for the interior of the car. All right, so we'll get some driving down the road. Looks pretty good. Let's get some 50. Okay, and camera just fell off the back. Still working. Here's our setup we're driving with. I've got the Freewell magnetic NDs. I like those better because I can pop them on and off, especially when going through the garage or different lighting areas. I can have the ND that I need right there. Looks good. talk about the setup for a minute. So I'm going to use a magnetic mount. It's called 3-footed Monster. This is the, I guess, the medium size one. They have a small one, which I'm going to use for the action cam in a minute. Got this medium one, which I think is called the Pro. Then they have a giant one. I mean, it's like freaking enormous, but super expensive. And then most importantly, a safety cable from the FX3 onto the car, just in case the FX3 pops out of the thing. I mean, the mount's not coming off. I'll set up FX3 mounted, safety cable going through. It's going through the foul cam camera cage, all set up. Got an ND on. It's a 5-stop ND, so that should be enough for coming out. We're gonna get 2 shots. We're gonna get coming into the garage and then coming up really this other side out here using the DJI. And so I've got now monitoring remote, so I can carry this with me, good to go, put it in the truck, be awesome. So the next step is really mounting the action cam, and I've got a couple of choices for that. So this is the small 3-footed Monster. This is probably which one I'm going to use just for this one. You can get something like this. This is a Ulanzi CO29. I'll put links in the descriptions if you're interested. It's a pretty decent magnet. But it doesn't have the same, I mean, it's not on par with this 3-footed Monster. This one's really strong. But this is great. Like if I was gonna mount an action cam up on one of these light poles, like this would come in awesome. Ulanzi also makes this other one. This little guy here, it's got some weird name, Go 001. It's got 3 feet. Now it's got pretty decent grip, not bad, but it would allow you to hook it up on uneven surfaces, since the feet are on little rubbery strips here. And it's all rubber coated, so you don't have to worry about scratching up the car or messing it up in any way. So all 3 of these are great mounts. The 3-footed Monster though is my pick for mounting this little action cam on the car, just because I know 100% it's not going anywhere. So last shot of the day, we're gonna get the drone up in the air, get the truck coming out from the garage. That'll be the overhead. All right, so get the shot, get the framing. Ooh, there we go. Get the shot, get the framing. Let's get the shot. Get the shot, get the framing, get the shot. Get the framing, get the shot. It's starting to get hot. Whew. All right, so that's the truck coming in. Looks pretty good there. All we're literally gonna do is loop around and come back out. Got the shots. The heat is too much. It's 11:30. Been at this for a couple hours in the Texas heat. Way too much. Time to shower, get to the edit, see what we can make. Choosing a location is all about exits. When a situation takes a wrong turn, putting distance between you and the guy that wants you dead is priority number 1. Gated employee parking lots offer plenty of cover and multiple stairwells. Quick and easy retreat paths. Getting familiar with a location ahead of time is Location Scouting 101. Well, seems I'm not the only one out scouting. All right, so the montage edit is done, and I think it came out pretty good for a first attempt. Certainly hits the vibe of the show I'm looking for. Now, of course, one thing I do need to figure out is how we're going to get more stable shots when I've got the FX3 mounted on the hood of the car. Lots of vibration in those shots due to the mounting option I use. So perhaps I can use the Tilta suction cups, maybe use a arm here on it to hold it down. The 3-footed Monster is great, but due to its design, it's a little wobbly, and we're gonna need to remove those vibrations. Something I'll have to experiment going forward. Now that we've got our basic shooting style in place, I'm gonna start working on props. And as the saying goes, good artists copy and great artists steal. And while that quote is often misunderstood, I'm going to do my best to copy a prop from the show. specifically the designer drug prop used in Season 2, Episode 7. For a few bucks on Amazon and a trip to the craft store, I think I can make a fairly convincing prop. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Until next time, do whatever it is you do. Be kind to those around you. Later.